Welcome to Uccello's for today's media luncheon. Our player is wide receiver Jamie Potts and head coach Matt Mitchell. Coach, talk a little bit about the Ashland game, and then we'll move on to the final home game of the regular season, Tiffin.
Sure. Not a very good first half for us all around in all three phases of the game. Defensively, we were on the field for way too many repetitions. We played over 50 snaps of defense, and we struggled to get off the field on third down. First half, we did a good job stopping the run. They didn't have, for as many snaps they had and rushing attempts, I thought we held the running backs in check. We would get them to third downs. They had 22 third down opportunities on the game, and we just couldn't get off the field on third down. So, some obviously lack of great man coverage in certain situations. You also have to give Ashland some credit. There were some very tight windows, some contested balls they made some plays on that they took advantage of it. So, offensively, I think the story in the first half was first possession, when we go 3 and out, we got third and short, we can't convert. Second possession, we hit the post ball to Jamie, and then we get it to a 3rd and 3 and run the ball, and made the decision to try to go for it on 4th and 1 and got stopped. And that was obviously a big momentum shift and change there. And then the other couple possessions we had in the first half, we got down in their half of the field and couldn't convert. We got in some backed up situations due to some penalties and some sacks, and just really couldn't get anything going offensively. So frustrated by the last touchdown that we gave up defensively, even as poorly as kind of things had gone. If we would have had a 13-0 lead going into halftime and got the ball and could have put some of these things together, might have had a chance, but we weren't really able to do that. And then we obviously had a massive special teams error, which gave them an extra possession, which led to more snaps of our defense being out in the field. So, we struggled to run the ball. If you look at the statistics, that's obvious. We had 85 yards rushing total. When Chris went down, we had to rely a little bit more on Terrell Dorsey to run the ball, and the score also got to a point where it was harder to run the ball in the second half. And our defense started wearing down in the fourth quarter. We don't have much rotation at the defensive line, and when you're out there 80-plus snaps, it kind of wore down. So we had didn't defend the run as effectively really in the second half as we needed to. So the one obviously bright spot was able to, we still got senior quarterback and a junior leading receiver. It kept battling and found a way to made some plays, but we just don't have the firepower, don't have the offensive production right now that we need to win a game against a quality opponent like that. And when you're on the field for that many snaps of defense, it's going to be tough to hold a team, I think, that's second in the conference in terms of their overall scoring defense. So very disappointing game, especially the first half. We really had nobody made any plays, really didn't have a spark in the first half, and really didn't get anything going from that side of the ball. So we got another tough test coming up here with Tiffin coming in. They're much improved. They're 5-4 on the year. They've 2 of the 3 trips up to the state of Michigan, they come away with wins. They won at Saginaw Valley State. They won at Wayne State. They're led by their true sophomore quarterback, Antonio Pimpkin, who is a multiple sport athlete, also plays basketball, and you can tell that. He's very good, throwing the ball. I think he may have supplanted Verlon Reed as the leading passer in the conference. I'll have to check on that, but he's right there 1-2 or right at the top of the league in terms of throwing, so he can throw the ball well. He can also beat you with his feet as their leading rusher. I think they've done a good job mixing in some design quarterback runs along with him being able to scramble and keep plays alive and keep the pocket moving. So he's a very good athlete. He's the focal point of their offense. They have some good skill players on the outside. That's definitely the strength as a quarterback and their wide receivers of their offense. And, they do a good job of matriculating the ball down the field with some shorter passes and some runs, but they'll also take some shots too. So you have to be, you have to defend really every spot of the field with their offense. It's a very versatile, wide-open offense. Defensively, they're an interesting crew just from the standpoint they're towards the top. I think they're second in our conference in terms of pass defense, but they're second from last in terms of rush defense. And so that's going to provide some challenges for us. If there's one thing, if you look at us statistically, we've been able to do is, throw the ball around a little bit, 5-step pass games with where we're at with running the ball and the depth at our tailback position. I'm not, just again where we're at, it's going to be harder to take advantage, maybe potentially that statistic that they're not as good versus the run. And so it's going to be a challenge for our guys. And obviously with 2 games left here, we've got to try to we got some stuff to play for in terms of a winning season and sending our seniors out on a home game and setting us up with some momentum heading into obviously a big rivalry game against Saginaw Valley. So we'll get back to work here, assess the health of our squad, and get back to work on Tuesday with our guys, and have a good approach Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and hopefully pay dividends against a much improved Tiffin team on Saturday. Questions?
Coach, do you do anything special for I guess senior week? Do you have to point that out, or does it just kind of come naturally because the seniors are the leaders?
I don't know if we'll do really necessarily anything special. I think there probably, I would hope, would be a sense of urgency by those guys that their careers are starting to come to a close, and they'll have the great approach and get after it and want to try to win the thing on a high note. But I'm not sure there's anything we'll really do. We got to try to stay the course in terms of our preparation and set the right tone heading into these games, because these last 2 games are important. So those guys will, they understand the situation, and I'm sure they'll prepare well given how things are, like I said, starting to close for their careers.
Jamie, what about you? I know you're a junior and you got another year, but I'm sure you are friends with a lot of the seniors because you've been around the program for a long time. How do you think the players will respond to making it right for the seniors on their last home game?
Yeah, I know it means a lot for the seniors, obviously. We got 2 games left, and I know a lot of the guys are going to, work their butts off to try and win these 2 games for the seniors, because, they mean a lot to this program, obviously from a leadership standpoint, and they mean a lot to the guys on this team. So I know guys are going to really try hard and do their best this week to get them a win.
Coach, your team has shown some resilience. They started out 0-3 and they rallied back. They lost a game, won another one, and they've lost again. I would imagine you expect them to regroup and rally again. They've shown character at least.
Yeah, I mean it's a very frustrated group. Coach is on down to the players. I think you definitely sense in there on Sunday the frustration with the current situation, but at the same time, I know we have enough competitive kids in that locker room that are going to want to go out there and approach things the right way and go out and perform. So for us, at this juncture where we're at in the season, there's still got to be a value placed on playing football for Grand Valley and competitiveness and going out and playing with your teammates and trying to win a game. And I think we will have that when we take the field on Saturday. These guys are going to want to go out there and win win in their last home game of the year.
Jamie, I know in a loss it's something you really don't want to reflect on, but you had a milestone. You went over 2,000 yards in career receiving, and you're now 12th in all-time receiving receptions. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it would have meant a lot more had we got the win. I'm not real huge on personal accomplishments, but, that's something that I guess I've worked for, since I've been here, just to improve every day. And, it's paid off, and I'm going to continue to keep getting better and hopefully help us win some games.
Matt, the Ohio, talked to you a little bit about the Ohio teams being better, and really it's almost like the entire league has been very tough this year. You've caught some tough road games, and they've obviously played well on the road. Can you just comment on the strength of your league really this year?
Yeah, I think it's. I think when you look at the landscape in our region, again there'll be 6 teams that'll get in from our region, and I think we won't be one of them, but there are probably, unfortunately, going to be some GLIAC teams that, in my opinion, are playoff caliber teams based on their performance throughout the year. They're kind of be going to be potentially left out of the playoffs. So I think there's a couple things you can say about our league. One, as we mentioned here previously, the Ohio schools have definitely done a great job this year in some of the competition versus the Michigan schools. And I also think you're seeing a much more of a variety of different styles of offenses, which are putting pressure on a lot of different types of defenses. And like Tiffin is a great example. We're going to go from, Ashland that was in a lot of, 2-back, 2 tight end sets, running the ball. A lot of their run game was set up off of play action, and that's how they move the ball down the field to a Tiffin squad that'll go 5 wide receivers at times and will really throw the ball around both short and long. And and there's just, again, you had Verlon Reed at Findlay with the threat of the run. Obviously, you have the option-based attack at Ferris. I think there's also, in terms of the talent level in this league getting better, I also think you're seeing a much wider array of offenses. And there's a lot more competition within this league because people are having a harder time going from week to week. There's no carryover, in terms of what you're having to defend, and you're having to, basically defend a completely different types of offense week to week. So that's put a lot more pressure too on teams on the league, not just us, but everybody in the league. Just that variety of offenses and what we've seen, and we're also seeing some great quarterbacks, in this conference. Obviously, Jason Vanderlaan at Ferris is having a record-setting year. Tyler Scholar at Michigan Tech has really done a good job leading his team. Antonio Pipkin's doing great as down at Tiffin, and I could go through all the quarterbacks in this league, and a lot of the the top teams in our conferences have some quarterbacks that are really good players, that are juniors or seniors, that are upperclassmen, that are really carrying their teams at this point in time. And I think we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent in this league, and specifically, I think there's a lot of those teams in Ohio that have a lot of talent in their rosters and are making a push to be putting themselves at the top of the conference race.
Okay, that'll conclude today's media luncheon. Thank you.